Hey everyone, this is 8-Bit Flashback, and I'm playing with my favorite system today, the Dreamcast. So I just picked up a high definition VGA cable for the Dreamcast made by Tomee. And I got this for only 16 bucks on eBay, and these have been out for a while now. I'm kind of mad at myself I didn't get one of these before, because it makes my Dreamcast look so much better. This VGA cable is capable of an output resolution of 720 by 480, which is drastically better than the composite cables that came with the Dreamcast originally. So the cable is designed to plug into a VGA input on the back of your TV. A lot of your newer HD TVs do have the PC input, but if yours doesn't, there is a solution for that too. And we'll get to that in just a few. The cable also has audio outputs, so you can hook that directly to your TV or to external speakers. And to hook the sound up to my PC input on my TV, I did have to use this adapter, but it was only like $2. And as far as the quality of the construction goes on the VGA cable, it feels very nice. It's very thick cables, and it feels like it's built to last. And here's a look at a VGA to Hdmi converter, so if you don't have that PC input on your TV, you can use one of these. So I got this converter on eBay for about 10 bucks, and it works pretty well, but it's kind of a pain to use. First off, you're going to need a female by female adapter so you can join the two VGA cables together. After joining the cables together, you're going to have to join the audio together, so you're also going to need an adapter for that. Once you have the audio joined together, you're going to have to power the converter with a USB 5-volt power supply. And the reason it needs a power supply is because VGA output does not have a 5-volt signal, and HDMI requires 5-volt signal to work. So if you want to convert your VGA cables to HDMI, this setup will work, but I don't really recommend you do it this way. There's so many extra cables involved, so it's kind of a pain. It's much better if you just have a TV that has a PC input, or you can just use a PC monitor, and you can find those at thrift stores for under $10 all over the place. So unfortunately, there is some compatibility issues with the cables. For my Dreamcast that I got on launch day back in 1999, these cables work perfect. But for my Sega Sports Edition Dreamcast that's from 2000, I cannot get these cables to work. So there must be some slight differences for the components inside the Sports Edition Dreamcast. So if anyone else out there is having compatibility issues with their Dreamcast and these cables not working, let me know down in the comments below. I'm very interested to know how many consoles out there are having compatibility issues. So if your TV is equipped with a PC input, it's very simple to hook up the cable. All you gotta do is plug in that VGA cable, then plug in your audio cable that's linked with the PC input. And with this TV I had no issues. All I had to do is plug it in, power up my Dreamcast, and everything worked just like it's supposed to with the improved graphics. I also tested it out on a PC monitor and I had the same results. All I had to do is plug it in, power up the Dreamcast, and everything worked. But when I tested on my Vizio 60-inch E-Series TV, I had some issues with the screen not being centered. It was off to the right slightly. But to fix it, it was very simple. All I had to do was go into settings, then size and position, then select auto adjust, and then that picture's centered just like it was supposed to. So depending on what TV you have, you might have to do the same thing. You might have to go in there and manually adjust your display settings. Alright, now it's time to check out some game capture with a couple different games, and we're going to do a VGA versus composite comparison side by side. So I recorded this at 60 frames per second, and you want to make sure you watch this in HD so you can really see the difference between the two. So it should be very noticeable which one's composite, which one's VGA. If you don't know, composite's on the right. So if you look at the numbers and letters, you can really see the difference there. Even look at the detail on Sonic, the detail on the cars, the detail on the roads. Everything is just so much better on VGA mode. So if you're trying to compare this to HD standards of today, that's not really fair. What we have to do is compare it to the composite mode, which is what we played our Dreamcast in originally, and that would be a much fairer comparison. So this console was released all the way back in 1998 in Japan. So imagine how this would have looked back then. This would have looked great. And here's a look at Shenmue 2, and look at the difference in these two side-by-side pictures. Look at the hair, look at the glasses, look at the wrinkles, just everything looks so much better in VGA mode. And by the way, what a great game this was. I beat this one and I beat the first one, and this game was just so unique. In the game you actually have to go to work, you gotta make money, you gotta deal with bullies, you gotta deal with all these real life situations. It's hard to imagine that there's people out there that don't like this game. It's such a good game. And playing in VGA mode just makes it that much better. So here's another close-up, and look at the differences. Look at the differences in the hair. You can see the individual strands of hair. Look at the detail in the eye, the detail in her costume. Just everything looks so much better. And some of the details and changes, it's hard to see when you're doing a game capture. Some of this stuff you just have to see in person just to experience how much better it is. Okay, let's check out another one of my favorite Dreamcast games, Soul Calibur. And this is probably one of the best looking games there is for Dreamcast. But look at the difference here. Look at the difference in the hair strands. Just look at the outline of his body. Just everything looks so much cleaner and crisp. I should have got some VGA cables a long time ago. Here's another side-by-side shot, and just look at the difference. Look at that hair. Look at the costume. Just, it looks so much nicer. You gotta think about how old this game is. I believe it came out in 1999, and look how impressive it looks. I think it looks great even for today's standards. And not only did the game look great, it had some amazing gameplay. It played so smooth and fluid. This is my favorite fighting game of all time, but Mortal Kombat's pretty close. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you want to hear more from me, please subscribe. If you like that video, please click that like button. And if you want to see more of my videos, just click any of these links.
This victory strengthens the soul of Maxi.